Have you ever thought that the food you enjoy today might be silently damaging your future health? After the age of 50, food choices become far more crucial than before. The body undergoes significant changes, and some foods that might not have had much impact when you were young could become truly dangerous now. Recent research shows that more than 60% of health problems in old age are directly related to dietary patterns followed over the years. What's concerning is that these negative impacts often occur slowly and almost invisibly, until by the time symptoms begin to appear, the damage is already severe. Before we start, write in the comments section what foods are the hardest for you to avoid even though you know they're unhealthy? Why is diet so important after the age of 50? The answer lies in the fundamental changes occurring in your body. After half a century, your body experiences various significant changes. Metabolism slows down, the immune system declines, and vital organs like the heart and kidneys begin to need extra attention. Cell damage accumulated over years starts to show its effects. Production of digestive enzymes decreases, making nutrient absorption less efficient. The body's ability to detoxify toxins also declines, making you more vulnerable to the negative impacts of unhealthy foods. Chronic inflammation, largely triggered by certain foods, can worsen conditions such as arthritis, heart disease, and even cognitive function. Incorrect eating habits can accelerate the aging process and increase the risk of degenerative diseases that reduce your quality of life. The good news is that dietary changes, even at an advanced age, can still have significant positive impacts. The body has an extraordinary ability to recover when given the right nutrition. Let's discuss 5 food groups that you should avoid or significantly limit after the age of 50. 1. Processed and packaged foods. Processed foods have become an inseparable part of modern life. From filled biscuits to ready-to-eat frozen meals, these products dominate supermarket shelves and are present in many people's routines. However, behind the convenience they offer, significant health risks are hidden, especially for those over 50. Scientifically, processed foods are designed using various chemicals, preservatives, colorings, and artificial flavors that make them taste good and extend shelf life. These ingredients are often difficult for the body to process, especially as liver and kidney functions begin to decline after age 50. Sodium levels in processed foods are typically very high, with even one serving potentially containing more than 50% of the recommended daily sodium intake. Excessive sodium consumption is very dangerous for blood pressure, which already tends to increase with age. Uncontrolled hypertension is a major risk factor for heart disease, stroke, and kidney failure. Besides sodium, processed foods also contain trans fats and hydrogenated oils, which increase LDL cholesterol levels, bad cholesterol, while decreasing HDL cholesterol, good cholesterol. At ages over 50, where the risk of cardiovascular disease is already increased, these types of fats can trigger heart attacks and strokes. The impact of regular consumption of processed foods is very damaging to the aging body. They contribute to chronic inflammation, which is the root of many degenerative diseases such as arthritis, dementia, and cancer. The digestive system, which is already declining in efficiency, will be further burdened with food that is difficult to process. Chronic fatigue, sleep disturbances, and declining cognitive function are some symptoms often experienced by older consumers of processed foods. These foods also tend to be high in calories but poor in nutrients, creating a condition of nutritional starvation, where you consume many calories but still lack essential vitamins and minerals. To address this issue, start with simple steps. Replace processed foods with fresh alternatives. For example, choose fruit as a snack instead of biscuits or chips. Cook your own meals from whole ingredients so you can control the ingredients used. Read labels carefully when shopping. Avoid products with long, hard-to-pronounce ingredient lists. Remember the simple principle: the shorter the ingredient list, usually the better for your health. Consider your body as a sophisticated machine that needs high-quality fuel to operate optimally. 2. Processed and high-fat meats. Processed meats such as sausages, smoked meats, bacon, and ham have become part of many people's diets due to their delicious taste and ease of preparation. However, for those over 50, these foods can pose a serious threat to health and quality of life. From a scientific perspective, processed meats contain high concentrations of nitrates and nitrites, substances used as preservatives and color enhancers. The body converts these compounds into nitrosamines, which have been proven to be carcinogenic, cancer-causing. The World Health Organization, WHO, has even classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there is strong evidence that its consumption can cause cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. Besides nitrates, processed meats also contain very high levels of sodium. One slice of bacon can contain up to 400 milligrams of sodium, or about 17% of the recommended daily limit. At ages over 50, kidneys become less efficient at processing and eliminating excess sodium, making a person more vulnerable to hypertension and fluid retention. High-fat meats, whether processed or not, contain large amounts of saturated fat that increase LDL cholesterol levels in the blood. After age 50, blood vessels tend to become less elastic, and cholesterol plaque buildup occurs more easily, increasing the risk of arterial blockage and coronary heart disease. The impact of consuming processed and fatty meats on the elderly body is significant. Increased blood viscosity due to saturated fat consumption makes the heart work harder to pump blood throughout the body. It's like trying to push water through a clogged pipe, requiring more energy and increasing pressure on the system. Besides cardiovascular problems, consumption of processed meat is also associated with digestive issues. These meats are difficult to digest and can worsen conditions such as diverticulitis, which is more common after age 50. Intestinal inflammation caused by these foods can also reduce the absorption of important nutrients, worsening malnutrition conditions already common among the elderly. To address this issue, switching to healthier protein sources is the best solution. Replace processed meats with high-quality proteins such as skinless chicken, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, and plant protein sources like legumes and tofu. If you still want to enjoy red meat, choose lean cuts and limit consumption to once a week. Cooking methods are also important. Grill or boil instead of frying to reduce the formation of harmful compounds. Consider implementing Meatless Monday as an initial step to reduce processed meat consumption in your diet. 3. Processed carbohydrates and high-sugar foods. Processed carbohydrates such as white bread, wheat flour pasta, and various cakes and biscuits have become major components in modern diets. These foods provide instant satisfaction and convenience, but the price your health pays, especially after age 50, is very high. Physiologically, processed carbohydrates undergo a refining process that removes almost all the fiber, vitamins, and minerals found in the original grain. What remains is almost pure starch, which the body quickly breaks down into simple sugars. This causes sharp spikes in blood sugar levels, triggering the release of large amounts of insulin to manage this excess sugar. A diet dominated by processed carbohydrates creates a blood sugar roller coaster, rising high then dropping drastically, causing quick returns of hunger, fatigue, and strong cravings to consume more carbohydrates. This cycle is very dangerous at ages over 50 when the body's insulin sensitivity begins to decline. Processed carbohydrates have a high glycemic index, which measures how quickly food raises blood sugar levels. Studies show that foods with a high glycemic index not only contribute to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, but also increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and even some types of cancer. After age 50, the body's metabolism naturally slows down by about 5 to 10% per decade. This means the ability to burn excess calories from processed carbohydrates decreases significantly. Sugar not used as energy will be stored as fat, especially in the abdominal area. This visceral fat is metabolically active and releases pro-inflammatory cytokines that can worsen conditions such as arthritis, heart disease, and even dementia. More worryingly, recent research indicates a link between high consumption of processed carbohydrates and declining cognitive function in the elderly. Some scientists even refer to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes, indicating the significant role of brain insulin resistance in the development of this disease. To address this issue, make a gradual transition to healthier complex carbohydrate sources. Replace white bread with whole grain bread, white rice with brown rice or quinoa, and regular pasta with variants made from whole grains or legumes. Add more fiber to your diet through whole fruits, not juice, vegetables, and grains. Fiber not only slows the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream but also provides a feeling of fullness for longer and supports gut microbiome health, which is increasingly recognized for its role in overall health. Limit foods with added sugar, especially snacks and desserts. Remember that many seemingly healthy foods such as fruit yogurt, granola, and breakfast cereals often contain large amounts of added sugar. Read labels carefully and look for products with less than 5 grams of sugar per serving. 4. Unpasteurized dairy products. The trend of returning to nature and traditional foods has increased the popularity of raw or unpasteurized dairy products such as fresh milk directly from farms and artisan cheeses. These products are often marketed as more nutritious and natural compared to pasteurized versions, but they harbor serious risks, especially for those over 50. Microbiologically, raw milk can contain various dangerous pathogens such as E. coli, Salmonella, Listeria, and Campylobacter. The pasteurization process, which involves heating milk at certain temperatures for a specific time, is specifically designed to kill these harmful bacteria without significantly reducing its nutritional value. One of the most dangerous pathogens that can be found in unpasteurized dairy products is Listeria monocytogenes, a bacterium that can cause listeriosis. This infection has a mortality rate of up to 20% and is particularly dangerous for people with weakened immune systems, as is common after age 50. The immune system undergoes significant changes with aging in a process called immunosenescence. Production of new immune cells slows down, and the ability to recognize and fight pathogens decreases. This makes people over 50 much more vulnerable to serious complications from food-borne infections that might only cause mild symptoms in younger people. Infections from unpasteurized dairy products can cause symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and fever. However, in older populations, complications can develop into severe dehydration, sepsis, and even death. Recovery from infection also takes longer in older age, often requiring hospitalization and intensive medical intervention. Contrary to some popular claims, scientific research has not shown significant nutritional advantages of unpasteurized dairy products compared to pasteurized ones. While some enzymes are indeed destroyed during pasteurization, these enzymes will mostly also be destroyed by stomach acid when consumed, thus not providing additional health benefits. To enjoy the benefits of dairy products without the risks, always choose pasteurized varieties. Pasteurized cheese, yogurt, and milk still provide calcium, protein, and other essential nutrients needed for bone and muscle health, which become increasingly important with age. If you enjoy artisan cheese, look for producers who use pasteurized milk in their production. Many high-quality, complex-flavored cheeses are made with pasteurized milk, proving that safety doesn't have to sacrifice quality or taste. Always check labels carefully, especially at farmers markets or specialty food stores, where unpasteurized dairy products are more commonly found. If you're not sure, ask the vendor or producer about their processing methods. 5. Sweet and carbonated beverages. Sweet beverages such as soda, packaged fruit juices, and bottled sweet teas have become a normal part of many people's consumption patterns. These drinks are often consumed without much consideration, yet their impact on health, especially after age 50, is very serious. Biochemically, sweet drinks are sources of concentrated simple sugars in the form most quickly absorbed by the body. A can of regular soda contains about 39 grams of sugar, equivalent to almost 10 teaspoons, which enters the bloodstream very quickly because there is no fiber or other nutrients to slow its absorption. At ages over 50, the pancreas's ability to produce enough insulin to manage these blood sugar spikes begins to decline. Regular consumption of sweet drinks contributes significantly to the development of insulin resistance, where body cells become less responsive to the effects of insulin. This condition is a precursor to type 2 diabetes and is associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Sweet drinks are also directly related to the accumulation of visceral fat, the type of fat that surrounds internal organs and is very dangerous for metabolic health. Excess visceral fat increases the risk of hepatic steatosis, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, the prevalence of which increases sharply after age 50. Fructose, a form of sugar often used in sweet drinks, is metabolized primarily in the liver. Excessive consumption leads to the formation of triglycerides and LDL cholesterol, increasing the risk of heart disease. Fructose also increases uric acid production, which can trigger gout attacks, a condition more common in older populations. Besides its metabolic impact, sweet drinks strongly correlate with systemic inflammation. Research shows that regular consumption of carbonated drinks increases inflammatory markers in the blood, which can worsen inflammation-related conditions such as arthritis, cardiovascular problems, and even cognitive decline. Dental damage is also a serious consequence of sweet drink consumption, especially in older populations who may already be experiencing dental enamel thinning. The combination of sugar and acid in these drinks can accelerate tooth decay, which is more difficult to repair in old age. To address this issue, start by gradually reducing your consumption of sweet drinks if you can't stop at once. Replace them with healthier alternatives such as water with lemon or cucumber slices, unsweetened herbal tea, or pure coconut water, in limited amounts as it still contains natural sugar. Be wary of healthy drinks that are actually high in sugar, such as commercial smoothies, fruit juices, and sports drinks. Many of these products contain as much or even more sugar than soda. Always read the nutrition information and pay attention to the recommended serving size. If you miss the sweet and bubbly taste, try carbonated water with a squeeze of citrus or a few drops of sugar-free vanilla extract. This provides a refreshing experience without empty calories and negative impacts on your health. Dietary changes don't need to be drastic to provide significant results. Even small and gradual reductions from these 5 food groups can bring major changes to your health. What's important is consistency. Making better choices every day will accumulate into a real health transformation within a few months. Start by auditing your kitchen and eliminate or reduce foods from these 5 categories. Replace them with healthier alternatives gradually. For example, if you usually consume white bread, switch to whole grain bread. If you regularly drink soda, start by reducing the portion or frequency before eventually replacing it completely with water or herbal tea. When shopping, take time to read nutrition labels. Avoid products with long lists of ingredients that are difficult to pronounce. Remember that ingredients are listed by quantity. If sugar, salt, or saturated fat appears at the beginning of the list, that's a sign the product should be avoided. Cook more often at home using fresh ingredients. This gives you complete control over what you consume and avoids excess salt, sugar, and fat often found in packaged and restaurant foods. Consider this an investment in your long-term health. The body has an amazing ability to recover and repair itself when given the right nutrition. Even if you have consumed these foods for years, it's never too late to change. Research shows that dietary changes can provide measurable health benefits in just a few weeks. Remember that food is one of the most powerful forms of medicine. What you consume today will affect your health in the future. By avoiding these 5 dangerous food groups, you give your body the best chance to stay healthy, energetic, and disease-free as you age. If you find the information in this video helpful, don't forget to like and share it with friends or family who might also need it, especially those who have reached or are approaching the age of 50. This simple information can make a big difference in someone's quality of life. Write your opinion in the comments section about which food is the hardest for you to avoid and how you plan to reduce its consumption. Sharing experiences can inspire others who might be facing similar challenges. And don't forget to subscribe to the Seniors Insight channel so you don't miss other important health information that can help you live longer, healthier, and happier. See you in the next video on the Seniors Insight channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you receive our other equally informative and beneficial videos.